Are you looking to get more meaning out of the work you do at this point in your life? Well, tune in today for a discussion on working on purpose. Hello, and thanks for tuning into Second Act TV. I'm really happy to welcome Alise Cortez to our show today. Alise, welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me, Silka.
Elise has a great background for Second Act TV. She is an executive management consultant and coach, and a professor at SMU University teaching career and communication courses. Elise also hosts a radio show on Voices of America called Working on Purpose, and she is, and I find this most interesting, a meaning in work researcher, and she is working on her first book. So, how did I do? Is that a fair representation of your credentials, Elise?
We call that pretty crisp. We covered all the main points. Well done.
Good. Thanks. Well, as you know, on Second Act TV, what we're all about is focused on living life to the fullest after 50. And I think that based on, what I know about your work, that is largely what you're focused on, helping people in transition who are not, well, I'll let you explain what you do and how this applies to finding a new purpose in life.
Okay, well, gosh, there's many angles I could go, but let me say first that probably my best focus is really thinking about how to find people who really want to get to their next level in life, whatever it is, right? They want to have a breakthrough in their performance at work, which means they have to get out of their comfort zone and go upwards or sideways or through something really hard. In fact, I just had a woman reach out to me yesterday, and I would say put her age at probably late 60s. And she's in that place where she wants to recreate herself again. She said, Elise, I don't ever want to stop working. I said, I know, me neither. And she said, will you help me get to where I want to go next? I said, absolutely, of course. She said, I don't know what it is. I said, that's okay, we'll find it. And so working with people who know that they hunger for something else, but maybe sometimes don't quite know what it is really, really fun. And being able to help them isolate that, determine that is really fun. That's something that probably began in the years that I was doing some recruiting, and then just naturally evolved in helping people find a career that was suitable for them and being able basically to monetize their passion.
One of the things or one of the theories that I really operate on is that once you hit 50, there is just something that happens that makes you focus more on purpose and passion. Have you found that in your research? Can you give me some examples?
Well, what I would say to that, that's really quite interesting. And oftentimes when I do say this, people are like, really, that's true, huh? There's this thing when you look at human development, and that's what my PhD is in human development. So I studied a lot of things like lifespan development, sociology, psychology, things like that. There is this notion in psychology that is called generativity. There's a stage in terms of how we develop as human beings where oftentimes when we get close to 50 or certainly above 50, we hit this stage called generativity. And that's really this notion where we want to give back. We want to contribute to the next generation. And it's fairly predictable. And people are like, really? That's something that actually happens? Yes, to almost all of us. Not all of us, but to almost all of us in a fairly predictable way. So no, it's not surprising hitting 50. We're like, is there more?
So, and I thought this was like something I came up with that I realized that this is happening to 50, and this is actually in the books already. I'm kidding. But no, I did not know that is, what is it called again?
Called generativity.
Generativity. I did not know that. And I have a degree in psychology as well. I don't recall that. Interesting. Very interesting. Well, thank you for substantiating that our theory actually is based on academia.
Absolutely fun, isn't it?
No, it is. It really is fun. Building on that, is there some common traits then that how does this manifest, I guess, is my question. Is there something common that people would identify with, going, aha, I'm starting regenerating?
That is a great question. I don't know that there's common things. What I would say is that I think what starts to surface is this internal sort of questioning, this kind of hunger that starts to surface, like, well, I've just maybe had lunch, but I still feel hungry kind of feeling. And what I would also anchor that into something that one of my radio show guests said some time ago is that especially in America, are really we're thirsty and hungry for passion, for purpose. And part of the reason for that, I think, is because we are so satiated in the basics. We've got the roof over our head for the most part, not entirely, not everyone does. For the most part, our stomachs are full. And so we can then move on to some of the higher level sorts of things that people want for themselves in terms of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And so I would say that probably people that are in different parts of the world that maybe are still struggling for some economic parity probably don't quite find themselves in that same place, but we do because we have the bandwidth to do so. We have the attention, the time to do so.
It's interesting because I've always felt that, when you're blessed with the basics like we are, and I very much appreciate the blessings in my life, that you have a duty almost to fulfill what your life purpose is. Would you agree with that?
I love that, Silka. Yes, what I have to tell you that, yes, absolutely. And I will tell you, I have a 14-year-old daughter. She'll be actually 14 in about 5 days. And I've told her so many times, I've said, oh my gosh, you owe it to all of the women in the world to go after your dreams as big and hard as you can, because not all of them can. But you owe that to yourself and to all the women everywhere else. And at her age, I just don't see any reason why there's anything stopping her. Why wouldn't she go after that?
No, that's an excellent point. Excellent point. Anything else you want to say about that?
Well, certainly beyond, being 14 years of age, right? The rest of us that are sitting in a place where we're over 50, one of the things that I really like to point out to people, especially as they're sitting there wondering, should I do something different? I mean, I've got all this great push, I've got vacation, I've got this whole career built up. Maybe it's not my passion, it's not my purpose, but maybe I should just stay. And I'm like, look, according to the futurists, if you are in pretty good health these days, you've got a pretty good chance of living close to 100 years of age. Do you really want to plod through the next 2 or 3 or 4 decades really not living as fully and as largely as you can, really going after those things that you really want for yourself? I doubt it.
Yeah, excellent point. And that kind of brings us to what I want to talk to you about in our next segment, which is your personal story. When you said that right just there, that was my personal story. So let's take a break. Let's come back on another segment and talk about taking action on living your life to the fullest after 50. Thanks. Thanks so much for watching. Right here's another video I think you might enjoy. And while you're at it, please subscribe to our channel. Buttons right here. Thanks. See you next time.